Hello everyone, it's the Black Gallerina here, and welcome to another Q&A video where I'm going to answer some questions about curating while painting away. The questions for this month are on the topic of environmentally sustainable exhibitions. This is something that's been on my mind lately as I've been writing a particular chapter for my PhD and thinking about how conversations around care in the curatorial sector have been moving away from just caring about objects to also caring about people. However, I think that conversations about caring about the environment when curating should also fit into this newer narrative. So the first question, how much influence do curators have when it comes to adapting spaces to be more sustainable? I think that curators have a lot of influence because often people will ask you about items that should be used to construct a space, and you have the power to pick what's in the space and what should it be in the space. During that planning process, you can ask yourself, your team, and the artist questions about how things will be sourced, reused, and discarded after an exhibition. How have you tried to build sustainability within your own curatorial practice? I try to make sure that if I'm curating an exhibition with an artist who has yet to make the work, I have conversations with the artist about the materials used in this work. From my experience of working in a gallery with an environmental ethos, I sometimes worked with artists who had a practice that involved being conscious about their environmental impact when choosing those materials that they used. But some artists also made work about environmental issues but used toxic or single-use materials. Last year, I built connections with other curators in nearby galleries who were also eco-conscious people. Sometimes we'd email each other if we needed to borrow something. Instead of having to buy a plinth, for example, we'd reach out to see who had any spare. This practice was, number one, very cost-saving, but also very sustainable. We also have access to a resource centre where you can just book out things like tools and equipment to use so you don't have to buy new bits for different exhibitions. See the space that I'm painting now in the video. It's for an exhibition that included a piece that was originally created in 2018 by an American artist who came to the UK called Matisse Moore as part of a residency and exhibition. This piece was made out of found wood after it was first exhibited. It had been stored in offices and in a basement and hadn't been showed again. So when this exhibition was finished, we were really unsure about what to do with it as we couldn't send it back to the States. But the artist requested that it be given to a sort of educational or activist space or group or sold to raise money for a good cause. In the end, we gave it to the University of Sussex Students' Union for their student space, and I was really happy to see that the piece was out of storage and had been given a new life. Number 3, who are the best examples out there when it comes to sustainable curating? There is a guide that was published by the Design Museum a few years ago, which I think is probably one of the best pieces of guidance I've come across in terms of environmentally friendly exhibition making, and I think it can also be used for different types of cultural events. Number 4, are there any other art forms we can learn from in regards to environmental sustainability? I think we can look towards fibre arts, even though I do know that the fibre arts / textiles sector has their own dark side in terms of environmental sustainability. I do also know that there are fibre artists who are very conscious about how they source their materials and where their materials go after they've been used. Some of these artists only use materials that are secondhand or sustainable, and also provide information to their audiences about how the works are made and the environmental impact. Number 5, is there any training out there? One place in the UK where you can possibly get access to training resources is Julie Bicycle. Julie's Bicycle is an organisation in the UK that supports arts and cultural institutions in becoming more environmentally friendly and sustainable. Their creative climate leadership courses take place worldwide. I haven't attended any of them myself, but I know that they are one of the leading organisations in this area of work. Thank you for getting to the end of this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I will put all the organisations I've mentioned in the description box, and please like and subscribe for future videos. Take care and see you soon.